Okay, let's see how this works. Alright, well, did something interesting with Herresy Battle. So you can see, I'm Orks. What is Andrew?
Blood Angels.
Yeah, we played Herresy, and then we used some, more like 8th or 9th edition rules with Orks.
It was great.
Bloodbath, yeah.
It was great.
Tell us about the game, Andrew.
Well, the game, well, quote unquote, started at 7. It didn't officially start till 9.
2 hours of setup.
Yeah, 2 hours of setup. Well, it's mostly for him.
Yeah, because we had a ton of Orks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the actual game itself didn't last until midnight, which is right about now. And, my God, was it intense and bloody. I mean, not really intense, but, I mean, it was just like, I had, I think a total of 4 tanks.
Yeah, got rid of all those.
Yeah, a total of 4 tanks and 5 dreadnoughts. And I had a bunch of regular dudes, which was pretty much useless because...
Yeah, tactical squads we didn't play objectives, it was just killing, and tactical squads are not good.
So useless. So useless.
Dawnbreakers, very good.
Yeah. Dawnbreakers were...
Blood Angel Terminators.
They were the GOAT of this game. Like, if you don't know what that means, that's greatest of all time. The GOAT, you know.
The Dawnbreakers are really good.
Yeah. They're also known as the Sanguinary Guard. And then I also had a unit of Terminators that seemed to pretty much demolish everybody. And then he ended up pulling out 2 more units of Terminators for me because we weren't sure how the game was going. It kind of seemed like for a second I was just getting slaughtered. And that's how it was in the second round. I got absolutely
So I lost
butchered.
27 to 20, and those Terminators would have been 2 points each. So I still would have lost. I mean, even if you gave them 4 points, I still would have lost. By it would have, 24 to 27 wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah. It's because I had 2 Gorkonauts. I had like a bunch of like heavy orc armor, and they're like great in combat, but they're not. Sanguinius, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Sanguinius.
There's nothing that can match the Primarch.
Yeah, love that guy. He took down Gaskell, which is like his they call an Orks in 40k.
War boss.
Yeah, it's the war boss, but they run the WA pretty much.
I actually had 2 Gaskells because he had, and one of them died and one of them did nothing.
I thought you had 3 technically. Like I thought you had like one that you made, and then you're using that as like.
I was using one of as a knob, and I used 2 of them.
Yeah. So there's quite a few Gaskells. The Gaskell that he used as his main was really cool. It's a really big.
Just using the current model of Gaskell.
Yeah,
and then I used the older Gaskell as a knob, as like a knob hero. And then I have Sila Affingame. You can get it so you can see. He's over there somewhere, hiding. Like the coward he is, he wasn't able to.
Him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Junior.
This is Gaskell's brother, who's kind of like mentally slow. I'm kind of thinking like what is it called? Like Mice and Men. But the reason why we did that is because the Blood Angels heroes were really good. We had Dante, and then we had like the Sanguinar.
And then we
used as like Dante, yeah, and so like they were really, really good.
Yeah.
Just killing everything.
It's a bit of a shame too because I had actually like a couple heroes in my tactical unit, but it's because they were in my tactical unit, which is why they were such a waste. And I think I could have taken more advantage of the shooting phase because I didn't realize how aggressive Orks were in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, Orks want to get in hand-to-hand combat and they're good at it.
Yeah, I thought it would be more of like the DACA aspect that I need to be wary of, and I was like...
You get to roll a lot of dice for shooting. You don't hit much. You don't kill anything, but yeah, they're really
Orks have horrible aim, and when they do hit, it does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do something. Yeah.
Nothing. Not as much.
Just kind of went on, but at least the way my Orc army was built, they want to run at you and chop. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I thought this game was a little bit different in the fact of like the battlefield aspect. It was kind of more like at first, sorry, excuse our cat, he has poor manners. So we both started and it was kind of more like all guns were on the board and I was trying to play it a little more tactical, give it a little bit more of a tactical approach based off of like my prior experience of gaming, like playing different games. But it was like they started rushing us and then we kind of came back around and
Andrew flanked me is what he's saying.
Yeah, I flanked him.
And then I was able to deep strike flank Andrew.
But what I was trying to do was I was trying to get to Gaskell and Gaskell's brother, just so I can get Sanguinius to fight him. And then I was trying to get Dante and the Dawnbreakers to fight other people. But then I ended up kind of taking my dad's advice, which was midway through the game, where I basically split up Sanguinius and the Dawnbreakers, as well as Sanguinius and his Dawnbreakers, as well as Dante and his Dawnbreakers, and I think that ended up being more beneficial to me.
So Andrew wasn't really using the Dawnbreakers as much. He was kind of using Sanguinius and the Dawnbreakers like as support, and I think it's because he played the Word Bearers last. And with Logar, sometimes he works better that way, and some of the other support Primarchs do, like Fulgrim. He kind of works better that way. But Sanguinius and the Blood Angels are really go after.
They're really independent.
Yeah, and their characters and their heroes are super good, and their elite units are super good. And so Andrew was kind of using like the basic infantry guys as the primary, and they were in the way, and he was like, and they're not so good. Yeah, the basic infantry should have been back as support.
It's like I should have been playing not like the World Eaters, but similar to the World Eaters.
Yeah, with their elite units,
Yeah, just like how Ingron ditches them. But honestly, it was a really good game. It was a really fun game, and then I got to play with my own army pretty much for the most part. This is like the first time I've played with my own army. My dad's been helping me build my own army for quite some time, so
good start on Bloody Angels.
Yeah, it's a really good start. It's a 2,000 point army, and I love it. So, thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
Thank you for the game.
It was fun. Yeah, it was really fun. So
it's a good Christmas game.
Yeah, and the Orcs are kind of like World Eaters. We were thinking like, how would the Orcs go against World Eaters? The thing with Orcs though is that they outnumber people, and they have to. And so if you have, I think Andrew's army was around. We were playing maybe around 4,000 point armies each of us. And, there's nothing like a Primarch. I mean, there just isn't. And we kept it that way because an Orc Primarch is stupid. But, you can compensate like Gorkanaths. Just Gorkanath. The problem is that Sanguinius gets to attack first. And he just, and he rolls things off because he has his armor save, his ward save, and then he has his afterwards he has it will not die. And so I did actually cause 2 or 3 wounds on Sanguinius, and it will not die them, and he ended up having no wounds. And there's a lot of things that he can just kill, just off the board. And so I'm stuck trying to move these big monster things to try to clump them together to get after him or Dante. But they're so good, they're just killing everything, and then they're flying far away so that you can't get to them. So it's weird with the foot slogging. I think with Angron, they'll be more stuck in, but the thing is that World Eaters are buzzsaws. I mean, just so
it's hard to get them to stop, too.
Yeah. But Orcs are kind of buzzsaws, too. They're just not as good. I mean, they have a good armor, but, on the attack, they can get the charge off.
I think...
I had one WA, and the WA actually hurt me because everybody had to charge, and I had the 2 units that had to charge a unit of Dawnbreakers, and they both got killed. And their heroes, and that was for
the WA is what got
points.
your War Master killed.
But it's an orky thing to do. I mean, like,
Yeah,
why wouldn't I
I
want?
mean,
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm going to be a
You
tactical
shoulda-
orc.
You know what you should have done is you should have wad at the beginning of the game.
No, I didn't have enough space because they can only move their movement. So I didn't have enough space. I need to be close.
Do you think this game would have been big Stompa worthy if we had more time?
The Stompa would have off-balanced it.
Yeah.
I think it's the Stompa would have off-balanced it. I mean, just with the sheer weight of like dreadnoughts and stuff. I mean, how many did you have? 5?
Mm-hmm.
And then I had 6 Death Dreads, 2 Gorkanauts,
How do you
and
spell that?
3
Is it Def?
DEFF, and then Dread.
Okay.
And then I had 3 Death Dreads, 2 Gorkanauts, and 6 Killicans. So I had a lot of armor. And then I had 2 Squigoths, which we counted as dreadnoughts. And then, so again, the tactical people are not going to do as well. But, Power Fist, Thunderhammers, boy, they equalize things.
Yeah, they thrived.
And,
they
and
really
Primarch,
thrived.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why we did that, because we had played Heresy before, and I kind of knew what Sanguinius was. And, if you played like this army that was just like, everybody had Power Claws for the Orcs, everybody had Power Fists, so Thunderhammers on the Blood Angels, everybody that could. But if you played it like, just like with standard tactical guys, I mean, they can't wound most of the stuff. And then, there are only some basic troops that they can shoot at. And then they're stuck in a fight with somebody who's going to kill 6 of them a turn.
Yeah.
So it wasn't,
I mean, I had a perfectly good unit of tactical and, tactical guys, and I threw them in. With a group of
My bikers were really good.
4 Death Dreads.
When Andrew figured that out, I had a bunch of bikers, like really cool bikers. And when Andrew figured that out, he used his Dawnbreakers to get rid of them, and that was that. Yeah,
they were huge.
They were doing a great job.
They
like, mopping
slaughtered,
up,
I think,
4 units or something like that.
yeah.
A dreadnought and 4 units.
It was
yeah.
reasonable. I mean, it wasn't a victimless crime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I did manage to get a unit of Dawnbreakers with like a detachment of Killicans. So that was that. That's what it took to kill the Dawnbreakers. Killicans, a bunch of them. Yeah.
It was a good game, though.
They stunk it out with Sanguinius too.
Yeah.
I mean, just because they're unbreakable.
Sanguinius, gave it to him, so.
Great Angel. Now, Andrew, you didn't show him your hat.
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
Sons of Baal.
Andrew likes the Blood Angels. That was my first army when Warhammer first came out, like in the Rogue Trader. I liked the Blood Angels. I had like 2 guys, and then I had to hide them because back then people would destroy it because they didn't like Warhammer. It was evil.
It was Herresy.
Yeah, it was Heresy.
Yeah, quite literally, it was Herresy.
I had to hide my Blood Angels. I think I lost them. My army of 2 guys. Yeah. I love the Blood Angels.
Agreed.
Yeah, and the one.
A good game.
Wow.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we're not doing like the turn-by-turn thing because everybody else does that and no one watches our videos anyway. This is like more for us. And I think it's more interesting us talking about it. That's different. Because everybody else is like, look, the model moved. Look, the rule was this. But you know the rules. The other thing is, too, when you're club gaming or when you're, the original Warhammer wasn't so fixed that you had to play the rules exactly. And we never do. We always do approximations. And our goals are to have fun games and not to have these unbalanced tournament games where one army's like just too much ahead. And so if we had played, Andrew has a bunch of Blood Angels, but I have a bunch of Blood Angels, and I have all the elite troops and jump packs and things, and so they're super agile, and you can just basically put nothing down, and a bunch of like really powerful tanks and stuff, and it wouldn't have been fun, right? I mean, and then if you do the limitations and stuff, it just wouldn't be. Our goal is to have a competitive game, and so this isn't even possible with Heresy rules in modern Warhammer. But if you mix and match rules and you're kind of sensible about it, I mean, we played a reasonably good 8th edition army against the Heresy army, and it was fair, it was balanced, just with a little bit of common sense. and a little bit of like rules. And so like when things were in doubt, we just rolled for it. We questioned things like, could they do this? Could they do that? We, you know, and a lot of the things we kept the same. So, you know, like Dreadnought's a Dreadnought, you know, and they're similar, but a little bit different. So like invulnerable saves were consistent on both sides. We did stuff like that to make it more fair and balanced. But I guess, you know, it's your game, so you can play whatever you want. I mean, if you want to do like the unbalanced rules of Warhammer, but it's no fun. I mean, this game of the last turn, the last play of the last turn was fun, right? I mean, because
the nice thing is that it's your money and it's not something that's like video or like other media. It's something that like you can control and you can design of your own volition. Like me and my dad were talking about it, and we were like kind of like, for example, judging my uncle because he painted his Black Templars purple, like Phoenician purple, which is like,
yeah, painted him like Emperor's Children.
Yeah, but
why not?
That's his money, you know, and that's what makes him happy, and that's like what I respect. So
he actually got bored of him and moved on to what is it called, the Leagues of Votan.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they were so one-dimensional. They're just hand-to-hand combat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, like, that's like an example of it, but like, you're spending $70 for like 3 guys. It's your fucking money. Do what you want with it.
Yeah, you should be able to do what you want with the models. You should be able to proxy. I mean, like, the state of Warhammer is a little bit obnoxious in the idea that you have to buy something new all the time. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the armies are so big, is because, you know, I was able to use some Rogue Trader guys. You know, Andrew's army is mostly Andrew's guys, but a lot of them are Forge World guys. They're old models, and some of them were the very new guys. Just a mix and match. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, like, just have fun. And I think when your games are fun, you want to have more of them. It's such an investment. I think each army is at least $1,000 worth of stuff, you know, and the time and the effort.
It's like cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, like a lot of people are like expect like to, if you're gonna like be like a car person or like really in love with your car, expect to spend more than like $1,000 on it, you know. It's just like time and dedication. This is like the modern world. It requires lots of money to like go like put stuff into what you love, you know, or what you think is cool.
This kind of gets into a very bad part of actually what hobbying is,
mm-hmm.
because some people are so obnoxious with rules, and they're so obnoxious with like having to win, you know, like what you see is what you get, all this other crap, that no one wants to game with them. And so you have this competitive mindset for Warhammer. But there are a lot of gamers that are like me, that are like Beer and Pretzels, that are like Andrew. And so I don't even go and game with those people. I mean, like, if we know somebody and they're similar minded, you know, we'll game. But a lot of times it's just like the immediate people you know. It doesn't cause the hobby to grow. But, you know, I'm not a marketer for Games Workshop. You know, I shouldn't be like an advertisement and trying to play to get people to buy more stuff. That's kind of dumb. And likewise, you know, I like to sculpt. A lot of the stuff that we do, like, we'll custom make guys, we'll custom do things. And again, like, you can't do that. It kills all the love if you're a Games Workshop marketing person having to play by the rules to the letter to do this. And so, again, it's your game. Take control of your game. Let them be as they want to be. I gamed with both Andrew's uncles, which are my brothers-in-law, and my family and other people. And, you know, you'll run into people that you can game with. You'll run into people that you can't. I remember I played a Death Guard army, completely custom, completely painted, and this guy was complaining about a weapon on one guy, and his army was not put together. They had no arms, and he was changing the rules of those guys in the middle. And I just stopped playing him. I was like, you know what, you won. Are you happy? Hey, you won. Never play you again with your unpainted army with no arms, so that, you know, they can have las cannons, they can have this, they can have, who knows what they're armed with, who knows. But he's complaining about my customized, super detailed model. Okay. So it is interesting. It is interesting in that, you know, people get so technical about something that should be fun and shouldn't really be so technical unless you're in a tournament. And tournament play can be fun, but again, a lot of times it's obnoxious. And you know,
I think even like our local stores have more fun than like.
I don't know. Like I was surprised. A lot of them are really uptight. They're really uptight, and they really, because all they care about is sales.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to buy stuff, and I do buy things. I just go in when I visit and support a game store. I'll just go in and I'll buy something to support them. But my purpose in life should not be to buy stuff. And if they're going to complain, they should complain about people who aren't buying things. I just don't understand. It's like almost like they want to control you, like in the hobby isn't yours. And so, paint your black 10 polish purple. Do all these things, just be reasonable about it. And if there are rules, your elite guys should be elite and your normal guys should be normal. I mean, yeah, have fun. And if you want to play Tyranids versus the Herresy Dark Angels, that should be possible with some sense. Yeah, I mean, why not? Even a Primarch, an elite character, they can't kill everything. They just can't. And so on turn 1, they're not going to kill anything. And so maybe they might kill 4 or 5 guys, or 4 or 5 units, maybe. And if you have a big game, they're not going to be able to kill everything. There's a lot of other stuff, so you can still win. I mean, it's just, the state of Warhammer.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game today, at least.
Yeah.
And I think there's a certain uniqueness that, Warhammer has that's,
It's an experience, for sure.
Yeah,
a neat experience.
I think that's why they make it such a big and complicated world, though, is it's for everyone to interpret on their own, and for everyone, it's kind of like an adult Lego or like an adult Barbie, except for men.
There's really nothing like a game. They take forever, but they're such a unique experience.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny too because some of it's very much okay, this is kind of celibate behavior, but the whole point of it's it's just fun to enjoy.
Yeah. Orks lost. There was almost nothing on the table. Almost nothing. I think I had 2 units of boys, one boss and then a squiggoth.
That doesn't sound very orcish of you.
I know, but they ran into combat. They fought, and I didn't just run into combat. I tried to be tactical and do things, and they gave it their best shot. Tried so hard and got so far.
I mean,
in the end, it didn't even matter.
What happened to the Orcs being the bestest guys around?
They still are.
Yeah.
They still are. They left their fungal spores. They pooped it out, and so
they'll be there in
they're gonna regenerate.
They'll be in Warhammer 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
game.
Good game. It's fun. It's our Christmas game, and we dressed up.
Yeah. Well, he had a Christmas sweater. I didn't, but.
Yeah, we don't have a Blood Angel one, and he didn't. No one wanted to wear the Ultramarines.
No, we don't like the boys in blue.
Though I do have a Herresy Ultramarine army that needs to fight somebody someday. Bobby G. Gonna go do it. Bobby G.
Cool.
All right.
Goodbye.
We're done.